Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, Nampaknya. So today we're from Group 4, and today we will be explaining about the articles that we have reviewed. So before we start the explanation and the presentation, let me introduce myself and the rest of the members. So my name is Nilu Daniela, and there is Fatika Anastia, there is Abdip Shahpudra, and Delani Diaz. Next slide. Okay, so the title of the articles that we have reviewed is the mobile application-based phonetic training facilitates Chinese English learners learning of L2. Okay, next. Okay, so now the introduction. So the study examines the effectiveness of mobile-based high variability phonetic training or H3PT for Chinese English learners. So it improved the Chinese English learners' perception and production of English phonemes, utilizing a WeChat application and functional near-infrared spectroscopy, or fNIRS, to monitor the brain activation changes. So the study highlights the advantages of H3PT, such as its low cost, accessibility, and potential to enhance phonological decoding, particularly for words, pseudo-words, while also demonstrating neural benefits like inhibited non-linguistic processing in the right fusiforms gyrus and enhanced connectivity and language-related brain regions. However, the article also acknowledges limitations, including the conditional transfer effect of H3PT to authentic words and shorter pseudo-words, potential biases from single rudder evaluations, and the lack of comparisons between synthetic and natural voices, which may affect the general visibility of the findings. These insights contribute to understanding the nuanced role of HPPT in second language acquisition. And the next will be explained by my friend.
Okay, so hello, my name is Delani Diaz, and for the next, I will explain about the methodology. So the methodology itself consists three sections. The first one is the research design, and the second one is the data sources, and the last is research procedures. So let me introduce the first one, that is the research design. So the research design in our article use quasi-experiment. It's called as a control or experimental design for 14 participants. Most importantly, this study used a functional near-infrared spectroscopy, or it's called as a FNIRS, device to monitor brain activation and also network synchronization for participants in both groups before and after the training. So the part is explain the research design that was applied in the study, which is a quasi-experiment implemented in this research. Specifically, it gives the reader the scenario of the procedure that will used to get the data. And the second is the data sources. So the data sources text this study is required 14 participants L1 Mandarin undergraduate students. It consists involve 23 females and also 17 males to participate in the experiment. The average age of the participant is 18 years old and ranging from 18 to 20. All participants are right-handed readers and all are within typical development range without dyslexia. All of them are freshmen and not majoring in English education. At the beginning, 2014 students were required to participate in the experiment. Half of them were randomly assigned to the experimental group, and then the rest of them from the control group. But the place the university doesn't mention in this article. And the last one is the research procedure. So the research procedure in our article used FNIRS was applied to monitor the brain activation and also network synchronization of learners while they phonological decoding pseudo words. The MPSTS composed for 3 phonemes, 4 phonemes, and also 5 phonemes authentic words and pseudo words were conducted to collect participants' phonological decoding performance regarding English, as well to reflect the training effect resulting from using the HVPT application. Nevertheless, it is presumed that the deformation or trim and for phoneme pseudo-words is not prominent enough, which led learners to mistake them for authentic words they had encountered before. As a result, some learners use divergent recognition strategies unconsciously to process these words, while few of them utilize phonological decoding system to process these words. Therefore, only the F and ER's data collected during the pseudo-word reading session were used to subsequent analysis. And for the next explanation will be explained by my friends.
Okay, hello, my name is Abib Sabir Sebayang, and I'm going to explain about the result and the discussion. So, Yang, Huang, and Chen in 2024 found that learners' performance significantly improved when decoding 5 phoneme pseudo word after participating in the mobile machine learning-based high variability phonetic training or mobile MVPT. They also reported that the transfer effect of mobile MVPT on long pseudo word was statistically significant, indicating the efficacy of this training method in improving phonological decoding skills. These findings show that the mobile MVPT intervention successfully helped learners process complex phonological input, especially pseudo-word with more phonemes. The statistically significant improve suggests that the training can effectively enhance learners' ability to decode unfamiliar and difficult word forms, which align with the intended goal of phonetic transfers. So these findings or these results shows that the mobile MVPT intervention successfully helped learners process complex phonological input, especially pseudo-word with more phonemes. The statistically significant improve suggests the training can effectively enhance learners' ability to decode unfamiliar and difficult word forms, which align with the intended goal and phonetic transfer. Next, please. And for the discussion, Yang, Huang, and Chen in 2024 explained that the transfer effect of high variability phonetic training or HVPT is conditional and largely depend on whether learners actively engage in discriminative exploration of pronunciation patterns. They argued that successful transfer requires exposure to varied and complex phonetic input that encourage learner to notice fine differences in sounds. Next, for the next explanation will explain by my friend.
One is the conclusion. So HPPT helps learners improve their pronunciation by encouraging them to explore different sound patterns. Those who engage more deeply showed greater brain changes, especially in areas linked to language and reading. This supports the use of HPPT in English learning and suggests practical tips for teachers to apply it in class and beyond. So educators can better support the students' pronunciation development both during lessons and through independent practice. So next slide, please. Okay, so that's it from our group's presentation. We hope our explanation can give you new insight on the topic of phonetic of phonology. So thank you very much for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.